If someone disagrees with you, what are you making it mean about you? You know, if somebody disagrees with me about gender equality, I know I'm right. Everybody's free to disagree with me. I'm Cindy Gallop. I'm the founder and CEO of MakeLoveNotPorn, the approach I take in the consultancy and business speaking that I do. I like to blow up. I am the Michael Bay of business. What's the biggest lie you've ever told yourself? With the benefit of hindsight, back as a teenager, young woman, thinking I wanted to get married and have children because that was what everything around me told me I should. My father was English, my mother is Malaysian Chinese. Very entrenched within them is the belief that for a woman to be happy, she must find a partner and she must have children. From the moment we're born as women, we are told that our entire life is a search for the one. Every social occasion we go to, will he be there? And I speak heteronormatively because I'm straight. And what that means is you care enormously about your appearance. The belief that you are looking for the one forces you to compete with other women, a dynamic that I deplore. And at the end of the night, you schlep on home going, oh, he wasn't there again tonight, maybe next time. At some point in my early 30s, I went, F this, I'm not looking for the one anymore. I always say that the single best moment in my life was the moment I realized that I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. Have you ever felt like you were living according to someone else's standards or values? In what way? You know, everybody is influenced by parental expectations. In my case, unsurprisingly, they manifested in that way extremely common in Asian families. My mother was tiger mother par excellence. And so my childhood was characterized by extreme academic pressure. Come top of the class or don't come home. From the moment I popped out of the womb, I was told I was going to Oxford. Those expectations were crystal clear. And I have to say, the day I arrived at Oxford, I was actually so grateful I'd been pushed that hard because my 3 years at Oxford were a privilege. So I was enormously grateful, but at the time being pushed was not fun. Where in your life have you cared too much and what did that lead to? I care massively about socializing, normalizing and destigmatizing sex. Because we don't talk about sex, it is an area of rampant insecurity for every single one of us, no exceptions. I date younger men. They tend to be in their 20s. And about 15, 16 years ago now, I began realizing that I was experiencing very personally and intimately what happens when today's total freedom of access to hardcore porn online meets our society's equally total reluctance to talk openly and honestly about sex. It's when those two factors converge that porn becomes sex education by default in not a good way. I have seen up close the enormous human misery and unhappiness occasioned by the guilt, shame and embarrassment that we imbue sex with. We are talking about the single universal area of human experience that we are all most engaged with, most fascinated by, and most f***ed up about. We all get vulnerable when we get naked. Sexual ego is very fragile, but at the same time, you want to please your partner. And if the only cues you've ever seen are in porn, because your parents never talked about sex, because your school didn't teach you, because your friends aren't honest, those are the cues you're going to take to not very good effect. Who we are sexually informs everything about how we feel about ourselves, other people, our relationships, our lives, our happiness. We have the power to change people's sexual attitudes and behavior for the better, because when we are at ease with ourselves as sexual beings, lens, when we are not feeling shame, embarrassment, and guilt, we are not hiving this key part of our humanity off into the shadows, that is utterly and completely transformative. What is your most consistent and greatest hope? Women need not to give a damn what anybody else thinks. We do not have gender equality in this world anywhere. And I can see so clearly in my mind's eye how different everything would be in a way that would enormously benefit men as well as everybody else when women lead. And so my greatest hope is that we can end sexual harassment, end rape culture, and we can collectively move to a world where we get to experience the benefit of the female lens on everything when it is enabled and supported and championed and funded.
Sydney, I think you're really getting the hang of knocking these capsules open now.
Well, this is where I'll now have a real problem. Don't say that. Don't jinx it.